in a field, you see. They thought that there was some animal grazing or something like that, some creature they could spot. So Lord Krishna took that direction and Arjuna accompanied the Lord. When they approached, when they were close to that thing, they found that there was an old man bending and trying to find something on the ground. And the man was a simple person, an old man, but having a long sword, you see, a naked sword tied round his waist. And so happened that Lord Krishna and Arjuna approached the man and queried, you see, asked as to what the old man was doing. The old man said, well, he was in search for food. Food? Arjuna asked him, he says, what sort of food you find on this earth here? It's all dried grass, nothing more than that. He says, yes, I am in search of dry grass because I don't like to hurt anything, any creature. I don't want even to eat anything green, you see. For I am in search of something dried up, something dead. Apart from being a vegetarian, he wouldn't want to even hurt a growing vegetable, you see, or greeneries or anything of the sort. Just then, it so happened that Arjuna started asking a question, says, you seem to be so honest, so pious, so pure, you don't want to hurt anything or any creature, and yet why do you carry a long naked sword round your wrist? Oh, he says it's a long-standing grudge against some of the lovers, so-called lovers of Lord Krishna, you see. Of course, the old man couldn't recognize that Lord Krishna was facing him there. You see, he couldn't believe that Lord Krishna was there because, well, that is the divine game, you see. They veil themselves. The God-men, you see, always when they want to have a sort of a game, they veil their identity. They don't allow anybody to know. They go incognito. But this time he didn't go incognito, but somehow or other the old man couldn't recognize him. So he said that he had grudge against certain persons. So Arjuna was very inquisitive about it and asked, who were the persons? Oh, he says, what have you to do with these things, you see? You go your way. He says, no, we are very interested, Arjuna said. We would like to know who the persons are. Oh, he says, look here, I am a lover of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is my beloved God. And I abhor the idea of persons who call themselves lovers of God and at the same time are a pain in the neck of our beloved Lord Krishna. The effect of it was felt by Lord Krishna there, you see. And it so happened that at the time there, one of the queens, you see, was pressing the feet of Lord Krishna, if I remember the story right. And there she found some blisters on the feet of Lord Krishna. And she just remarked this, says, Lord, somehow or other some blisters are on your feet. What has happened? Have you burned the feet? Said, yes. Just now it so happened I got my feet burned, you see. It's Radha who holds my feet in her heart, you see, as precious as anything. And her gullet has been burned, you see, by someone giving her hot milk. And that's how, you see, I had to take away all that, and then the blisters have come there. Something like that, you see. He comforted the queen who was pressing the feet of the Lord there. So the old man was referring to the love of Radha in the sense that this love of Radha was such that it always gave pain to Lord Krishna. There are many such incidents, you see. And then he turned back to the others, you see, who loved Lord Krishna, and they felt that they loved him most. And one of them was Arjuna. He says, have you heard of Arjuna, who calls himself to be a hero and a great warrior and all that? So Arjuna was himself hearing the whole thing, you see. And well, he kept quiet and says, yes, yes, we have heard about Arjuna. What of it? He says, do you know, he calls himself a great lover of the Lord, and how much pain he has given to the Lord. He even made the Lord his charioteer. He even bruised the temples of the Lord, you see, by making him a charioteer. Well, I don't know whether you'll understand this, this little thing in the story, how he bruised, how Arjuna could bruise the temples of Lord Krishna, you see. Lord Krishna condescended to become Arjuna's charioteer during the war of the Mahabharata. And a charioteer has to sit quite in the position quite below the warrior, you see, who is ready to shoot arrows in the army, in the enemy's camp. And the warrior always squats or sits on his seat there, high up the charioteer's seat. And the charioteer has to take the chariots in different positions wherever the warrior wants it. And how does the warrior control the charioteer? He just spreads out his feet, legs, you see, the warrior, and presses the two toes of his feet on either temples, you see, of the charioteer. What happened is that one day when we were out, you see, on a must tour in a car, it so happened that as I drove Baba outside the town, you see, through which we were passing, all of a sudden I could hear Baba, very silently of course. Baba never made any noise or anything of the sort, but I could feel the shaking of Baba's body. And I just turned this way and saw Baba was laughing heartily. I had never seen Baba laugh so heartily, you see. But Baba having silence, the burden of his silence there with him, we never heard the sound made by Baba when he laughed. No sound was produced when he laughed. But then he would go all red in face when he laughed, and the whole body would shake, you see. But when he laughed, as we would laugh loudly, we would produce noise, we would produce sound, but his body would vibrate and shake, you see, when he laughed heartily. So that was the feeling I had when I was driving the car and had gone just outside the town. And I just looked round and saw Baba in that mood, and I was so surprised that I asked Baba what was the reason why he laughed. Well, he just said, he pointed out to a crowd there, a small crowd, and there he said, can you see a man in a cap there, a black cap on his head? I said, yes, Baba. So look, he is bowing down. All this in gestures, he said, of course. He's bowing down to the shrine there. So I could gather that there was a sort of a fair there, a sort of a year, some anniversary of some saint there being celebrated or something like that. So that man who was bowing down to the shrine was the same man in whose honor, you see, that shrine was erected, you see. And his anniversary was being celebrated or something like that, you see, and the man was coming. So Baba could recognize that. And he laughed. And that was a great joke for him, you see. And he says that was the reason why he laughed. And he told us then that this is the fun, you see, in illusion. You go there, you are hailed as a saint. A shrine is built there, you see, a mausoleum is built in your honor, and people go there, and then one of the persons going there is the same person in whose honor the whole thing is built, you see. So that's how, that was one of the reasons why Baba laughed so heartily that day. And an extraordinary man would get upset and get wild. But then he was neither an ordinary man nor an extraordinary man. He was the God man. And I could feel his infinite patience. And because of it, I got confirmation of his being something other than ordinary and extraordinary. I did make many mistakes in his gestures, no doubt about it. And Baba would correct me again and again.
What about that photographer, when that photographer came around and wanted to take you a picture, and you told him no, that he couldn't take you a picture? That's a very good point.
And then Baba said, what difference it made, you mean?
Yeah, tell that whole story about the man that came around with the camera.
Yeah.
And take you a picture.
Yeah. In the beginning, you see, it so happened that people would come and want to take pictures, you see, of Eruch. They took me to be some extraordinary creature, you see, around Baba, because I was somehow or other given the opportunity to interpret his gestures. So every now and then, you see, some Indian or some foreigner would come and would want to have a picture of Eruch or have an autograph from Eruch and so forth. And I was not at all pleased with the idea, you see. So after all, who was I, you see, to give all these things? I didn't like all this sort of things. So one day it so happened that there was one bold man, you see, a photographer, who came and wanted to have a picture of Eruch. And I refused point blank. And then he was very much upset about it. And Baba was inside the room, and he and I exchanged some words, and Baba clapped, and I had to go inside. And the man followed me, and then Baba asked me what was the matter. I said, Baba, he wanted to have a picture of Eruch, and Eruch didn't like the idea. I said, why are you shy of having pictures, you see? What matters if somebody has a picture of you? If he feels happy about it, why not allow him to have it? I said, I don't mind. But then these people come, you see, and they feel that I am somebody other than the ordinary person or something like that, and I don't like that idea at all. He says, why matter? Are you that other than anybody? I said, no. Then what matters if somebody thinks like that? Why not be bold enough and just allow them to have the picture, that's all. So from that date, now that you may call it shyness or that indifference has all gone, you see. I am neither indifferent to it, nor I am happy about it, nor unhappy about the whole thing. I just take it in the most natural way it comes, you see. People want to take snaps of me, or want to take movies, you see, or would want to tape record things that I know of. I just want to give what I have, what I know of. If they feel happy about it, just now as Irwin and Edward are happy about taking movies, you see. But I couldn't. Those were the days of implicit, instantaneous obedience, you see. And he started clapping, and then I had to shout out at him that, well, with one hand I am stopping a snake there. And if I were to let loose the snake would go right on your bed, Baba. So please allow me some time till the snake comes out, you see, puts its neck outside, you see, of the room, and then I can kill it and then enter it. So, well, it did do that, and I could kill the snake, but it took me about 10 more minutes, you see, to do that. And in spite of it, Baba started clapping, you see. And then, well, anyone would have been very pleased, you see, with the slave who tried to save the life of the master, you see, because the snake would have surely gone inside on his bed there. But my master was not at all pleased because of the disobedience, you see. So what mattered? You ought to have obeyed me. Most important was obedience, you see. You ought to have just left the snake there and entered the room immediately. I said, my heart never agreed to that, you see. I thought that the snake would go there and it's a poisonous snake there and it would be harmful to your body. He says, never mind. It doesn't matter at all. Obedience was more important. So, well, that was the day, you see, when Baba then that day told me that obedience is such that if I were to order you simultaneously that you should sit and stand up all at once, you should do that. And that's real obedience. I said, well, that is not possible with us human beings. It might be possible with persons on the plains, But then planes, those on the planes, you see, the planers as they are called, they need not obey Baba, you see. So that is the story, you see, when he wanted that type of obedience, that degree of obedience where nothing should come in our way. I remember in New Life, you see, when we had to obey Baba to that degree of obedience that we had to come with half-shaven faces, you see. And apart from that, if we were taking a bath, we had to just come with our towels round our waist, you see. And if we are squatting, you see, to ease ourselves in the mornings, we had to just get up and come running to him. If we had heard the clapping of Baba or so forth. Nothing should stop us from obeying him or answering his call. That was most important. And once I remember that there was a person, I don't know who was the person, Murli or Kaka or somebody, there was that problem in the kitchen, you see. Milk had to be boiled. You know, we boil milk here. And you know how milk, you see, how delicate the temperature is, you see, at that degree when the milk is about to get boiled, you see, it comes up in the vessel. So it so happened that the milk was about to get spilled, you see, and Baba called. So he just tried to put the vessel down from the stove, and there was the delay, and Baba called him and says, why was the delay? He says the milk was boiling at the time, you see, and he wanted to put it out of the stove.
Sure.
Everything is zero. How would you say that?
How would Baba say?
Yeah, that's what Baba would say, yes.
Everything is zero.
And how about I alone am?
I alone am.
And don't worry,
Don't worry.
don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I know everything.
I know everything.
I am with you.
I am with you.
I love you very much.
I love you very much.
When I speak, give the word, all will come to know who I am.
When I speak, all will come to know who I am.
Love me more and more.
Love me more and more.
I am God.
I am God.
Remember that.
Remember that.
This path is very difficult.
This path is very difficult.
Chetty Baba is a very high must.
Chatti is a very high must. Delivered?
Very fine.
Very fine.
On the sixth plane.
On the sixth, Plane. E was for the air.
Muhammad made me laugh today.
Made me laugh today.
He said he has a wife and 7 children.
He says he has a wife and 7 children.
He calls me Dada.
He calls me Da.
He is like a child.
He is like a child.
Obey me.
Obey me. Listen. You see, listen to me, like obey me.
Listen to what I say.
Listen to what I say.
Don't break my order.
Don't break my order.
Don't make me angry.
Don't make me angry.
Next time I won't forgive you.
Next time, I won't forgive you.
Remember that.
Remember that.
This time I forgive you.
This time, I forgive you.
Now forget it all.
This forgive you.
Now forget it all.
Now, forget it all.
And be happy.
Be happy.
Did you eat well?
Did you eat well?
Did you sleep well?
Did you sleep well?
That's good.
Good.
I'm pleased.
I'm pleased.
Are you worrying?
Are you worried?
You are crazy.
You're crazy.
How is your health?
How's your health?
Have you got a cold?
You got a cold?
Have you got fever?
Have you got fever?
See the doctor
See the doctor
and take medicine.
and take medicine.
Remember,
Remember,
I have to see to every little thing.
I have to see to every little thing.
The universal pressure on me is very great.
The universal pressure on me is very great. Would ask, Baba never had a sign for F, so he'd question, and then we'd say either F or J. Either of them had no signs, so we'd guess. So that is F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I was for I, very simple, I, J again, that guess, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Now R was this way or this way?
Right.
Right? This was R. R really stands for Rustam. His name begins with an R, and he used to play cricket. So that's how R comes in. This is R. And naturally, R being like that, S was the opposite. So R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and how was Z? Z. That was Z. Now, can you think of anything else? I mean, one could go on.
No, the different gestures Baba had for certain signs for certain things,
For certain people?
like doctor and post and...
Oh yes,
all
per
these
telegram. And yes, Baba would say, is there too much of telegram and post, letters and telegrams today? Too much of letters and telegram for me to listen
Post
to today?
is like this, Mani.
You know, this was post. You see, it was posting of letters, post and telegrams. Too many. Do I have to listen to them today? How much? And yet when we would say, Baba, there's not much post today, he'd say, no, not much. A few. We'd say no, and Baba said no.
And for newspaper,
you do some now, newspaper.
newspaper.
A newspaper was like that.
And bogus news in the newspaper.
Bogus news of the newspaper.
Bogus news. Let's have, Baba would say, let's now hear bogus news, you see. After the post, which was the real news, of course, for Baba.
Yes. Then would
The
come.
reports coming from the west, you see, the centers from west and from the east, they were all real news, something real. And bogus news was the news that appeared in the newspapers.
the signs.
And then there were signs for everybody, for the mandali.
For the monthly now, signs.
Yes.
For Mera, what's the sign for
Mera
Mera?
was like this.
And Mani?
Mani was a little smaller like that. Same.
And Rano?
And Rano was this. This was for a Westerner. You see, anybody with a hat. And so Rano was like that. And a Western woman would be like this and like this.
And Marina used to...
Norina was like this and like this, because she was older.
No, oh, hat.
was this and
And this.
Yes, this and this. But this was meant older.
she's older.
And Elizabeth was like this and like this. Nani was like this because she typed. Gawe was like this, because when the first time that she came to Baba, to live with Baba, she had a sore throat, bad throat, so she was like this.
Meru?
Naja is like this for a frog. Baba said she always hopped about. That's Naja.
Meru?
And Meru was like that. Baba said she was crazy the way she did some things. You know, just in affection and fun. Now it's over. Let's go in.
And the sign for scarf, Baba's scarf, would be just this.
Yes.
Where's the scarf?
And that's train. That's train. And that's ship. Ship was
The
like
umbrella.
And umbrella is like this, yes.
this. Plane we did.
Plane we did.
And yes,
Mm.
Flower.
And for chair, get me a chair.
That's for chair.
Yeah, that we have finished. Yeah. And get a sauce, a cup or
Oh,
plate.
not so big.
Plate.
Cup, and so cup was like that. I think that's.
What else?
I don't want to go on. It's only a matter of what one thinks about.
That we have finished.
Water is like
Water is
this. Coffee is C, tea is this, milk is this. This is salt.
And
Sugar.
yeah, he wants to piddle now. Baba wants to
Oh, yes.
piddle, you see. Yes, like this. And sometimes like this and sometimes like this. And then when he wants to
Toilet.
sit on toilet, you see, for potty, like this. And when he feels hungry, you see,
You just do this. No, I'm hungry. So bring food. And everything is, what's going on, everything is run very vaguely. If there was anything amiss in what was to be done, what Baba had directed us to do, and something was not done properly, Baba would say, oh, this is just, very vague and running like on the air. You have to be very careful. Do everything exactly as I say.
be
Or
very
else-
particular. Don't
or
be-
else- Take a ticket in the train and I'll pack you off, you see. Be ready for that. Next time if you do that, take a ticket, up and off.
For a trunk, it will be like this. Trunk.
How do you say divine idiots?
or Baba said once,
That he would have to
I'm-
spell out, you see.
I'm so tired, Baba said. I'm so tired. I want to sleep for 700 years. Then when I come back,
We'll see. We'll see.
I'll see.
Did he say that you would all come back with him again?
No.
He never said that.
No, it's your turn now. All of You're waiting. Some things he said when we would ask Baba to explain something, because he himself would bring it up and he said, all right, Baba, tell us. And he said, not now. After 700 years, when I come down, then I'll tell you. Or he'd say, remind me after 700 years.
Fred Winterfeld said we were lamenting the time the other day, but he said, it's only 698 now.
Oh, wonderful. Now don't waste films on us. Now don't waste any more.
And if he wants to inquire whether there is any electricity in the house, he would simply say this. That was the sign. That means the switch.
God realization was like
Yes.
this.
Becoming one with God.
This
God
was
realization.
separation, the pain and the difficulty of separation, till there's union, Baba would say, when he was explaining Hafiz. Well, Baba said, why not? He said, well, I was thinking about your health, Baba. Oh, Baba said, you're crazy. I'm not going to go away. I'm here for 14 years. Remember that. That was again. Thank you, Irwin. That's the way to do it. Oh, yes. I thought you had stopped in time for once.
Well, we might hear some love stories where the lovers would come to the beloved.
No, you catch other people. There are other people, This is my share. There's Pendu, there's Gaure. Where's Gaure? She runs away.
The
And
love-
there's Daddy.
There mu- wait a minute. There must have,
Time Barbara stayed up with him all night.
Huh?
just a minute.
Well, if you're
There must
procession
have
of
been
fire?
times,
Well, a funeral procession?
Okay.
Huh?
there must have been times when people came to Baba.
When you get the young
the
people,
tremendous
yeah.
love that they had, and that
The
they
longing
for seeing Baba as he really is, or to experience Baba's truth, or whatever.
Well, there are people who came to surrender everything to Baba.
Yes, stories like that.
And Baba said he would come in and tell. He would always come in and
Well, I'll tell you one story, you see, of a professor. A young man came to Baba in Dehradun. And he came to Baba, and Baba asked him as to why he had come to him. He says he was in search of a perfect master, and that he had come to surrender to him. He says, you have come to surrender to me. But there are so many masters over here in the north of India, you see, and you are from North India. I have come from the south, and why do you want to surrender to me? He says, well, I want to surrender to you. Well, Baba told him that it was no joke to surrender to him. And then Baba said to him that if he was serious about it, what he should do is he should be serious about obeying him and loving him. And says he was ready to do that because he had come with the intention, with the determination to surrender to him. To surrender to me, Baba said, was an easy thing, he said. You just say that you surrender to me, but have you realized the implications? In order to surrender to me, you have to obey me implicitly. So Baba wanted him to have some time before he finally decided whether he decided in favor of obeying him implicitly. And he was given time, although the man didn't want any time for it. And he was a professor in one of the colleges there in Dehradun. After about 15 minutes, he came back to Baba and said that he had determined to obey him and to love him. Baba again told him that, look here, man, it's not so easy to obey me. In a very good mood that day. And Baba had left the station and he had gone to a place called Mussoorie, some miles away from Dehradun, a hill station. When you visit Mussoorie, Irwin and Edward, you'll find it's a place, a very beautiful place there near Dehradun. So when he came and contacted Baba there in Mussoorie, Baba first question that Baba asked him was whether he had come alone. So he just kept quiet and said, Baba, you should know. Baba says, yes, I know everything. Have you come alone as I had ordered you? So he said, no. He had a spiritual mate with him, a girl with him. Baba says, that's no good. I told you to come alone. He says, Baba, after I left you, I fell ill. And it so happened that this woman looked after me so well that I had no heart to come all alone and join you. I have brought her with me, and she has also come to join you. Baba said, nothing doing of the sort. You have to obey me implicitly. You have not to come. You ought not to have come with this woman. You should have come all alone. Well, then said Baba, yes, that was a mistake on his part, and he would want his forgiveness and all that. Baba again reminded him that it was very easy for a person to sit naked on the Everest than to obey him. Baba then what happened was that Baba sent him back and said that he should come back after 15 days. And this time he should not read any literature of Baba, because he had not read literature of Baba. He had broken two orders. First of all, Baba had asked him to come back after reading all literature on Baba. He had not read literature of Baba. He was told to come all alone. He brought another woman with him. So both the orders he could not observe. So this time Baba sent him back for 15 days and told him to come back alone and not to read any Baba literature during the interval. Well, he went back. The woman was given prasad by Baba of some flowers and all that, and the woman also felt very happy because she had determined not to eat any food, you see, that day, and Baba, knowing well, had offered some flower, and which she ate, and so forth. The professor went back, but then he again came back and begged of Baba to allow him to join him with the woman, because he was very fond of the woman. And then Baba again admonished him and said, look here, you had come with the determination to follow me, to obey me. You had come with the determination to surrender to me. And when I tried to dissuade you from coming to me and staying near me, you were determined to be with me. Then I asked you to obey me, and you were determined to obey me. I gave you time to consider over this issue, and you said you didn't want any time to do that.